All right, YouTube finally paid off, guys. Look what I got. No, it's not mine. It's actually a friend of mine. It's his 2016 Subaru WRX STi, and this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Not really too much done to it. Sorry for the wind. Not too much done to it, other than he's got an iBox suspension, which just got put on, and as you can see, I mean, it lowers the car just enough. You've got just enough wheel gap underneath there to still have a little bit of travel clearance in the springs. And the drive, I've already gotten a chance to drive this a little bit, get a feel for it, and the steering is awesome. I mean, just absolutely awesome. And there's very little body roll. We're starting to get some inclement weather coming in, so I'm going to try to make this fairly quick. Stock exhaust, you can see the quad tip exhaust to it. A couple little upgrades he's done to it. He's got the carbon fiber wrapped spoiler, carbon fiber wrapped fuel door, and carbon fiber wrapped hood. And it looks really good. It's really neat. It's an awesome car. Outside the car, it's just phenomenal looking. I love it. It does have the upgraded sway bars as well on the front and the rear. So this thing just handles like it's on rails. So the weather's starting to pick up. Let's go inside the car, and we'll start there, because yeah, it's starting to get pretty gnarly. Maybe when we get back to the house, maybe I'll pop the hood and show them the motor that's in it. But all right, the motor that's in here, though, is a EJ257 motor. If you're very familiar with Subarus, it's typical Subaru EJ257. And a couple of things that I really like about this interior is just how well it's laid out. The seats are very comfortable. You've got nice storage room. Shifter feels great. You got typical SI drive. Touchscreen, right? Yep. Touchscreen with the backup camera. Correct? Yeah, it does have the backup camera, so there we go. So you can see in reverse, it has a little camera on it, so you can see what you're backing up into. This one has a nice carbon dash to it. I really like that. Just subtle trim. It's got the suede right on the door, typical STi stuff, although it's not blue like my body style would have, which is good because it doesn't get dirty like mine does. But you got HomeLink on yours. So you got the HomeLink system on here, and then you've got a nice display not only in front of you that tells you your gear, your speed, your fuel economy, everything right there, but you have a nice little cluster up here with what you have set to the boost gauge. Yeah. And you can change it to...
Yeah, you can flip and change it to
the clock and,
you know, the average
miles per gallon.
And then, you know, the timing and all that good stuff.
Okay, so it's got quite a couple little things, but that's probably the most popular thing that people are doing, is having that boost gauge right there. Now, it is electronic. It's not like a mechanical one where it's absolute ran off manifold pressure. It's really ran off a map sensor and the ECU. So the ECU is only going to read so much, where a mechanical one would actually read lower vacuum or whatnot. But, I mean, this thing is just awesome. As you can see, it's only got 13, almost 1,400 miles on the car. But we've already had some fun in this.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right. So let's take it out for a drive. Now, the clutch is not as harsh as on the GD body style WRX. My clutch, you really have to put some work into it. This is a lot softer, which is probably why I rev it up a little bit higher, because something that I'm not particularly used to. But the torque on this thing comes on so good, and you can feel the power. God, this thing just speaks for itself right now. And it brakes so good. It's so much better than mine. God, that is so much fun. All right. Like I said, the steering is just phenomenal. And the torque that this thing makes, and I know I'm short shifting it, I'm not redlining this. Fifth gear is short. Alright, that's enough.
Get up to 110.
It's a 110 right there. That's pretty darn good. I gotta give it that. That's pretty darn good. Alright, let's see. We got a lot of stretches around here. I thought there was more corners. But the torque comes in so quick on this car. And I know mine's a 2-liter and it's an older car with a bigger turbo on it, so the power is going to come in a lot later on, and the torque's going to come in a lot later on, and this comes in so quick. And even with a stock exhaust, stock you know, tune on it, not access port tuned. Look, we got dirt. We can go play in the dirt. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to do that to your car. We'll go nice and slow through here. I wonder what they're building there.
I'm curious myself.
I am too. Anyways, getting a little off the topic there.
I was going to try to drift this thing around in here.
No, I'm not going to do that. It's not my car.
Look at it, broke down the differential and put it down to like nothing.
True. That's true. God, this thing just comes on so smooth. There's so many things I just love about this particular car. It drives so smooth. It's almost like you really don't want to do anything to this particular car. It drives so good, and with the upgraded suspension on here, it just really makes this thing just come alive. It really, really does. So impressive. The motor's strong. Transmission feels absolutely great. God, I just love the sound of that turbo.
Yep. The only reason why it's doing that is because of the intake.
Oh, there's 6. Yeah, you got the Cobb SF intake, which is a very, very good intake for any Subaru vehicle, by the way. But this thing just feels so spot on. It's a full iBox suspension kit that's on here, so springs and sway bars, and like I said, it's just absolutely brilliant in my opinion. Right, takes that corner a little bumpy there. Very well. Rumble strips. Alright, and this is just a straight. I'm not even gonna bother. Like, I love the corners. I'm not much into the straights, so this is probably more than what you guys have usually seen from me driving anyways. But this thing is just so much fun to drive, and I'll tell you what, Subaru did an amazing job developing this car, and I really have to thank Eibach too for creating such a great suspension kit for this car as well. I mean, the sway bars feel great, the springs are not too stiff, but they're not too soft either. They're almost perfect for ride and comfort, and gives you a great ride height, and just everything is just great about this thing. And Subaru just did an amazing job. The only thing is I'm not a big fan of the prehistoric engine that's in here, but I can understand Subaru's reasoning for doing it. It's a recognizable motor. Anybody that is going to buy an STi, chances are you're going to modify it, so the parts are already there. You don't have to pay extra for the R&D work and stuff like that for a brand new component. So this EJ25 or EJ257 motor is a workhorse for Subaru, and it has been for a long time, and it feels strong, it feels brilliant. And as you guys just saw, I mean, I'm at loss for words with this thing. I absolutely love it. I'd love to get one myself, but you know, that's that's a payment that I don't want to deal with right now. And I have a great Subaru that I built, and I have no issues with my car as it is. But this has definitely opened my eyes as to why people would buy an STi over the WRX. Is just the way that this thing just drives. It's jaw-dropping. It really is. So as we come back here to our start point, having a little bit of fun. It really was an absolute blast to drive this thing. I know I'm not supposed to go this way, but whatever. There we go. It just handles that so well. But I mean, as you can see, it's so poised. It just feels so good. And you have to have a little bit of muscle for the steering, and I like that because it feels like you're connected to the road, unlike a lot of cars you get today, which just don't feel connected. So with that being said, when we get back to the house, I'll film a little bit more about what's underneath the hood. But hope you guys enjoyed the ride. So enjoy. All right, you guys. So I'm gonna do the shot of the engine. Let's see. Pretty much the same on every Subaru. All right. So there it is. Engine is completely stock. As you can see, it's a brand new motor that's in it. EJ257 top-mount intercooler on it, which you can almost fry burgers on it, like just about every one you do. VF48 turbocharger. It's got top-feed fuel injectors, 565 injectors. They're blue. As you can see, the Cobb SF intake on here that he actually is using from his old STi, which was a 2013 STi. But as you can see, it's pretty stock, but very clean, very well laid out. Anybody that's talking about you can't get to your spark plugs, they actually made it pretty easy on this body style. The frame rails aren't too much in the way, but you can do it. It still just takes a little bit of time, but as you can see, it's just, you know, it's pretty much a stock motor, but I mean, it just runs and drives perfectly fine. Over 300 horsepower, 300 pound-feet of torque. So it runs great. I mean, I'm very impressed with it. And when you compare it to my car right here, it's not as powerful as my car. My car definitely pulls a hell of a lot harder. But as far as the handling and the suspension is concerned, that I did a brilliant job on, but this just feels so much better. And part of it, I think, is that computer controlled abilities that it has with the center diff, where that's all mechanical, and quite a couple of different things. That car is also lighter. Sometimes when you have a little bit heavier car, it definitely seems to handle a little bit better because it feels like you have more weight on the tires. So with this being a little bit lighter, that being a little bit heavier, the suspension feels great. Both cars lowered. Mine are on STi Pink Spec C springs from Japan with a rear sway bar. He's got Eibach Pro Kit front and rear springs, front and rear sway bars. So it just handles awesome. So that's the motor shot. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. Like the video, share the video. Again, my opinion on this thing, it's an absolute brilliant car. I wish it had a more technologically advanced motor in it than the prehistoric EJ257 in it. I wish it had the FA20, you know, but making the same power. But I mean, the car looks awesome, handles amazing, the brakes are brilliant. I mean, just truly is an amazing car, and I can see where anybody would spend the money on one of these. It is just an amazing car. So again, hope you guys enjoyed the video. Comments, questions, concerns, leave them in the section below. Share the video, like my channel, subscribe. Want to try to do some more videos, so the more people that like the video and share the video, the more videos I'm going to be able to do. So thank you so much.